All right, welcome back. Here's number 13. We have got, turn my page, minus 1/4 cosine x plus pi plus 3. All right. Is there a reflection? Yes, we've got a negative sign. My amplitude change is going to be 1/4. That's 1/4 above and below the midline. Nothing in front of x, so period is not changed. It's going to be 2 pi. We do have a phase shift. It says to the right pi, but instead we're going to go to the left pi. And we have a vertical shift up 3, which means our midline is going to be at y equals 3. Domain for all sine and cosine is negative infinity to positive infinity. Our range is going to be 1/4 above 3 and 1/4 below 3. So below 3, that would be 12/4 would be 3, right? 12 divided by 4 would be 3. If I subtract 1/4 from this guy, I'd have 11/4. If I add 1/4 to this guy, I've got 13/4. All right, so let's go graph this sucker. We are up here at 3 for our midline. I have a very small graph because it's up and down by just a fourth. We have a phase shift of minus pi, so instead of going from 0 to 2 pi, we're going to start at negative pi, go to positive pi. It's cosine, so normally we'd start 1 above and end 1 above, but instead it's getting reflected, which would be -1 and down here. But the amplitude's a fourth, so we're going to end up here at -1/4 below, or 1/4 below the midline, and that's where we should end over here for cosine. Halfway between these 2 points, which is right here on the y-axis, we should be 1/4 above. And then in between these two guys, we should be right there on the midline. I will not make tiny circles on the smart board. All right, there's a 0. Here, hopefully you can see that. And then here's the next 0, and then 1/4 below. This goes back to being 0, 1/4 above, 0, 1/4 below. So, whoa, that was not good, Mr. Combining these things, it's going to look like a very flat but noticeable curve. All right, number 14. I've got 2 cosine 6x minus 4 pi plus 2. Period change or phase shift is going to be a challenge, but we can do it. No reflection out front, so we're not reflecting across our midline. We do have an amplitude change of 2, which means 2 above and below that midline. Period normally is 2 pi. This time, though, we're going to divide it by 6. That guy's going to reduce down to pi over 3. Phase shift is the opposite of this guy, so positive 4 pi. Again, divided by that 6. This time it's going to reduce down to 2 pi over 3. So we're going to the right, 2 pi over 3. My period is going to be pi over 3. I have a vertical shift of 2, which means my midline is at 2. Domain always, always, always for sine and cosine is negative infinity to positive infinity. Our range is, let's see, 2 up and 2 down from 2. So 2 less than 2 would be 0. 2 more than 2 is going to be 4. All right, let's start with our midline. It's going to be here at 2. Normally we would be going from 0 to 2 pi. This time we're starting our phase at 2 pi over 3, and it only has a period of pi over 3. So 1 pi over 3, 2 pi over 3 plus pi over 3 would be 3 pi over 3, which is pi. So I've got to get the entire cycle done in just that small space. All right, so let's see, we got cosine, and we don't have a reflection, so we're going to start high. Normally it would be 1 above the midline for our start, but we have an amplitude of 2, so we're actually going to go 2 above, and we're going to end cosine 2 above, which means halfway between these two guys, we need to be at our minimum, which is 2 below, down here at 0. Halfway between these guys, we're going to be at the midline. So this is going to make a very tall sine graph, or cosine graph, like so. sure I got this right. All right, and then going back the other way, this would be, which I think actually stretches out. There's that, then halfway, here we go. This is right here. Sorry about that. Going the other way, again, halfway point below, halfway point high, halfway point below, halfway point high. So I'm going to do this, that just means continue on in the same fashion, because this would make lots of, I'm afraid to keep going because I'm going to mess it up otherwise. So there we go, but that's the idea of the graph. There's lots of bumps up and down, they're real close together. These two graphs, totally kind of polar opposites of each other. That was 13 and 14. Come back and I'll finish up with 15 and 16 and we will be done for the day.